For 5 years, Ethan believed he shared a stable marriage with Lena. It seemed warm and caring, or at least that's what he thought. Then, a few months earlier, she dropped a shocking revelation. He was expecting. Stunned, he struggled to absorb the news. They had agreed to wait on children, and she had repeatedly told him she was on birth control. Something in her demeanor felt wrong, but he forced a smile, hugged her, and pretended to be thrilled. That night, as he lay in bed staring at the ceiling, unease crept in. The timing didn't add. They hadn't been intimate often, because of his busy schedule, and the last occasion didn't match the conception window. He wanted to trust her, to believe accidents occurred, but his instincts screamed otherwise. 2 weeks later, while sitting in the living room, he overheard Lena laughing on the phone. She made no effort to hide her voice. "Oh my God, he has no clue." He chuckled. I swear Ethan's too dumb to ever question it. He'll never know. His chest tightened. She was mocking. His thoughts raced. Know what? The child wasn't his. That she had been unfaithful. That this had been plotted. His first impulse was to storm into the kitchen and confront her, but he stayed silent. She was too sure of herself to mug. She believed he was blind, which meant he now held the advantage. Determined to secure proof before acting, he thought about checking her phone, but she protected it fiercely. Instead, he hid a small GPS tracker in her car connected to their shared network. She was innocent, there would be no problem. 3 days later, he reviewed the data. Her routine stops, work, grocery store, gym looked normal. But a new address appeared. Repeatedly late at night, an apartment complex across town. His heartbeat quickened. That evening he drove over and parked a block away. He didn't need to storm inside, only to watch. Exactly 10:45 p.m., Lena's car pulled into the lot. A man stepped from a third-floor apartment, grinning as he walked to her. They embraced. He kissed. Ethan's stomach churned, but he needed to know his identity. Snapping a few discreet photos, he ran them through social searches. Within minutes he had a name: Marcus, 35, a former colleague of Lena's, recently divorced, no kids. This wasn't random. This was deliberate. On the drive home, anger, betrayal, and revulsion swirled inside him. But under it all came clarity. Now he knew the truth. She was carrying another man's child and had no idea he had caught her. That ignorance was his strongest weapon. If he confronted her now, she would cry, lie, manipulate, and insist the baby was his. No, she needed to keep believing. She'd fooled him. He wasn't just going to walk away. He would make her pay. He sat in his car for nearly an hour, clutching the steering wheel until his knuckles went white. Every nerve in him wanted to burst into that apartment, attack Marcus, scream at Lena for her betrayal, but he restrained himself. Instead, he concentrated on collecting irrefutable evidence. He checked their shared phone bill, which recorded all calls and texts, hundreds of contacts with Marcus, late-night messages every single day. Just days before the big pregnancy announcement, she had texted Marcus, I told him, he totally bought it. Screenshots were taken and stored. Now Ethan had undeniable proof of fraud. Since he couldn't yet demand a paternity test legally, he had to play it wisely. One evening he casually mentioned genetics. Hey, did your parents ever have any unusual medical conditions? Lena barely looked up. Why? He said. I read doctors now do early genetic screenings for newborns. They can detect diseases early. She showed no concern. A week later, after she left for the doctor, he phoned the clinic. My wife is pregnant and I want to confirm they do a full genetic panel when the baby is born. The nurse replied, of course. Would you like the full package added? Yes, that includes paternity verification too, right? Correct. She had unknowingly agreed to DNA testing. A birth. Few men realize signing a birth certificate traps them into child support, even for children who aren't theirs. Ethan wasn't about to sign a thing. He contacted his lawyer and posed a hypothetical. What if a married man discovered his wife was carrying another man's baby? The lawyer asked if he was asking for a friend. Ethan simply said, he needed to know if paternity fraud meant the husband could avoid support. The answer was clear. Yes, but only if. He contested immediately and refused to. That was enough. As long as he didn't sign, he was free. But he also needed Lena to give custody rights to the biological father. The trick was getting her to sign something without knowing. Then the plan came. One night he sat her down, feigning excitement. I've been thinking, what if something happens to us? We should prepare a document to make sure the baby is protected. She shrugged, barely glancing at the papers. He slid them across the table. Hidden inside was a clause transferring custody to the real father if disputes arose. Without reading, she signed. Now all he had to do was wait. He continued acting like the devoted, caring husband while she secretly mocked. She still believed he was clueless. She had no idea her world was crumbling. For weeks he maintained the charade. He rubbed her belly, discussed baby names, and let her think she had deceived him. But every morning he refreshed his email, like a man awaiting an explosion. One day it arrived. Subject. Genetic. Screening results. Confirmation of parentage. He opened the file and scrolled until the words appeared. Paternity test. 0% probability of relationship. There was cold, undeniable proof. Lena's entire scheme had crumbled. I wasn't the father and legally I never would be. I exhaled, slowly, my pulse racing, not from fear, but from satisfaction. Most men would have exploded in rage. I didn't. Lena still believed she had me cornered. That night I walked into the kitchen, calm and collected. She was sipping tea, scrolling her phone, completely unaware. I slid an envelope across the table. Lena, the hospital sent over the results. Thought you'd want to see. She barely glanced up, smirking. Oh, finally. See. I told you there was nothing to worry about. Then she tore open. I watched her face drain of color. What the hell is this? Scanned the paper, her hands trembling. Ethan, this has to be a mistake. It's not. I pushed another document to her. Remember when I said we should secure the baby's future? Her eyes locked on her own signature. Clause 7b. In the event of paternity dispute, all parental rights are granted to the biological father. Ethan Carter waives responsibility. Marcus Gray assumes full custody. Her voice cracked. Ethan, no. You tricked me. No, Lena. I just let you believe I was blind. Her hand shook violently. Wait, it doesn't matter. Marcus won't take the baby. I'll still. Her phone buzzed. Smirk. You should answer that. She snatched it up. Marcus, Lena, what the hell did you do? What are you talking about? I just got a notice from family court. I'm listed as the father. Baby, don't worry. You can just deny Are you stupid? Have 30 days to contest. If I don't, I'm legally stuck. Wait, what? That's not. It is. You signed me into this mess. But I never wanted a kid. I'm leaving. Blick. He hung up. Her mouth opened and closed. Ethan, you can still fix this. Please just say. You'll be the dad. I stood up slowly. Lena, I was never this child's father. You made sure of that. I grabbed my tea and walked to a door. Ethan, wait, she screamed. I walked out, with Marcus abandoning her. Lena had one option left. Drag me into court. She knew I'd legally removed myself, but desperation drives people to madness. Her argument. Your Honor, Ethan was my husband during my pregnancy. He should be responsible. I sat there calm, prepared. Her lawyer rose dramatically, shouting about duty, marriage, and financial obligations. Your Honor, my client was deceived into signing papers she didn't understand. She's a single mother and we request child support. I smirked, turning to my lawyer. Your Honor, we have undeniable evidence of deliberate paternity fraud. Then came the bombshells. First the DNA. Results 0% match. Proof she knew she cheated. Next the signed custody clause, where Lena herself transferred responsibility to Marcus. The judge leaned back, exhaling. Mrs. Carter, did you knowingly mislead Mr. Carter about this child's paternity? Lena stammered. I thought maybe it could be his. Answer directly. Yes. She had buried herself. The judge glared at her lawyer. Your client's entire claim is built on lies. Mr. Carter has no obligation here. My name was struck from everything tied to the child. Case dismissed. Lena looked shattered, but the final blow was yet to land. Marcus, who never filed his contest in time, was now legally recognized as the father. Dragged into the mess, he pleaded. Your Honor, I never agreed to this. She tricked me. Mr. Gray, did you contest within the deadline? No, but then under the law you are the legal father. Your choices, take custody or pay support. Marcus went pale. I can't raise a kid. Then you'll pay for 18 years. Lena spun around, horrified. What? Well, Marcus, you have to step up. Like hell I do. This is your problem. I simply watched as they destroyed each other. Marcus was legally bound. Lena was left with nothing from me. After court, her world collapsed. Called me dozens of times, begging. Never picked up. I finalized the divorce, moved to a new city and built a new life with someone who actually respected me. And Lena, she was left trapped in the mess she tried to drag me into. Gambled and she lost.